Coors Field, the place to be this weekend for home opening week. Colorado with a big 12-2 victory over the Diamondbacks yesterday. Let's see if they can't get a series win with a victory today. And we welcome you back out to center field as we're getting you all set for first pitch here at Coors Field. Jenny Kavner, Ryan Spilborghs, and Jeff Houston. Guys, big keys to the game. You don't want to have that fun-filled opening day and then a big letdown, Jeff.
Well, and that's my key. Don't have that emotional letdown into this ball game today. There was a lot of excitement. There's always, as a player, you're thinking opening day is special. It is. But now you think to the next day. Focus on your at-bats. You got a team in Arizona that's down, and you want to continue to dominate here at Coors Field. So don't have an emotional letdown today.
Yeah. And Jorge De La Rosa, he will be on the mound today. Of course, he had the opening day start in Miami. He will have his first start at Coors Field, a place that he was pretty good at, Philly, last year.
Yeah, he's not my key to the game all the way. He's part of my key to the game. I'd like to see him just go as deep as he can. Obviously, helping that bullpen out is really important. My key today is going to see DJ LeMahieu in the 2-hole, getting him out of that 8th spot, try to get that lineup going without Tulowitzki being in the lineup. So it'd be nice to get some extra traffic. Hopefully Charlie, since we had the whole Charlie Blackmon pregame today, Charlie keeps it up. DJ could get on base, and then you got Cargo and Cuddy.
Yeah, you mentioned something very important. Troy Tulowitzki not in the lineup today, a scheduled day off according to Walt Weiss. We will get you Rockies baseball. It's coming your way. Just ahead, it's the Rockies and the Diamondbacks right here at Coors Field. More Charlie Blackmon talk when we return. Celebrate, including Jorge De La Rosa's birthday. Baseball is back in Lodo. We got Colorado and Arizona getting set for the second game of the series. That means Rockies baseball starts right now.
Pretty good week for one Charlie Blackmon in one afternoon as the Rockies open up the home portion of the schedule with a blowout win over Arizona. 12-2 yesterday, and they'll tee it up against the Diamondbacks again here in a couple of minutes. Welcome upstairs, everybody. Glad, as always, that you are with us. George Frazier and Drew Goodman. Yesterday, what a marvelous day for Charlie Blackmon and the Rockies. As Walt said after the game, just what the doctor ordered. 6 for 6. I kidded him earlier today during the pregame show. I said, how'd you weasel your way in the lineup today?
Player of the game. I'm telling you, he was player of the game. He did everything. He had the offense, had the defense running yesterday. Charlie, of course, with the long ball, he had that involved in it. Everything got started with this double to start a ball game off, a home run, 5 RBIs against Arizona. You know, and I got to witness Kirby hit 6 for 6 in Milwaukee. It still doesn't get old. This is fun to watch when a guy has this opportunity. Some people said, why didn't you stretch one of these into a triple? We'll talk about it later. Very difficult. If he tried to stretch it, it's going to end up being out by about 55 feet. 6 for 6, Charlie Blackmon. Wow.
And he'll be at the top of the lineup. Big surprise this evening. Jorge De La Rosa gets the baseball for the second time this year. Down in Miami, ended up losing 10-1 to Jose Fernandez on opening day. He actually, until the 5th inning, George, was really dealing.
4 innings, a couple of hits, 6 strikeouts. They were basically unhittable, and he utilized everything in that ball game. He had very good command of his slider, he had very good command of his split, and he had very good command of the fastball on the outer half of the plate. You can see there he had Stanton, a very good hitter, to reach for it, and then things kind of come unraveled there in the 5th inning for him. I think he's at home. He's in a place where he loves to pitch. 10-1 last year with a below 3 ERA. That had never happened before. And he's pitching against the Diamondback ball club, which he likes to throw against. And we'll get into that in a minute in this ballpark.
Absolutely. The right recipe again for success for the Rockies. Colorado, Arizona. Come on back to Coors Field with us. Rockies baseball on Root Sports is brought to you by Toyota. By your 7 neighborhood Toyota stores. Toyota, let's go places. And by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com. A change in the batting order for Kirk Gibson's Arizona Diamondbacks tonight. A.J. Pollock, who batted 8th yesterday, will lead things off. He'll be in center field once again. Here's the rest of the Southwest batting order for the Snakes. Aaron Hill will bat second, and then Paul Goldschmidt, he of the 26-game hitting streak dating to last year. Martin Prado had to leave the game after he was spiked yesterday. He's okay. He's back in there in the cleanup spot. Mark Trumbo hit a home run yesterday, his third. Miguel Montero will bat sixth. Chris Owings, Gerardo Parra, and Brandon McCarthy, the Colorado native. And let's take a look at Jorge De La Rosa's numbers. It's brought to you by Innova. Visit InnovaCC.com.
Big year last year, 16-6, and even cut a little bit short. If you think about it, if he would have got to extend those innings started last year, how good it could have turned out. 11 home runs given up, 62 walks. And he's at a place where he really likes it here at Coors Field. 10-1 last year, 276. But against the Arizona Diamondbacks, how about this? At home, 8-0 with a 138 earned run average. In Arizona, 0-5, but yet a very good earned run average of 389. Arizona does not hit him well at Coors Field. So I set out the recipe book for a good outing for Jorge De La Rosa if everything goes the way it's been in the past.
Here's the 1-1, swung on and missed on a 94-mile-an-hour fastball. And this bears repeating, George. We touched on it when we were in Miami. We touched on it, you and I and Huey, during spring training. He's picked up a tick or two another year removed from the Tommy John surgery.
Well, I think that's why. I think he's free and easy now. He doesn't have any discomfort in his arm. He's not afraid to turn the ball loose.
95, that one flashed.
He's got the good velocity, and you'd love to see once he starts to put the split slider into it. Look out on the Mike Shaw Subaru Super Mow, right out of the hand on this heater, but it's the location too, right underneath the hands of A.J. Pollock.
Swung on and missed, a strikeout to begin the ball game as A.J. Pollock is gone. And that gives us an opportunity to take a look at the Rockies defensive alignment. It's brought to you by Excel Energy. Visit responsiblebynature.com to learn more. Cargo in left, Charlie Blackmon in center, Michael Kadire in right. Charlie Culberson's in at short. Nothing's wrong with Troy Tulowitzki. He's just getting a day off. LeMahieu and Morneau is on the right side. Jordan Pacheco is doing the catching. Willeen Rosario is not in there. And of course, everybody said, well, see, that's because Willeen and Jorge had that dust up on the mound in Miami, and Walt Weiss said this is not going to be a situation where now Pacheco catches De La Rosa every time. Said it has more to do with the fact that he was going to get one of the 2 days off, Rosario, and he felt better about giving him tonight off because his numbers, Willeen's against Wade Miley, who will go tomorrow for Arizona, are outstanding.
Right, exactly, and that's why they want to do this. You try to look at it, okay, I'm going to give the guy a day off. What day is it going to be? Who's it going to be against? And where would we want to maintain him and keep him here?
By the way, with Charlie Culberson starting at short, he's appeared in games at shortstop before, including yesterday. A couple innings, 163 games at that spot in the minor leagues. It is his first career start, though, at short. Here's the 1-2 to Aaron Hill. George, make a play.
No. By the way, Jonathan Gray starting in Tulsa tonight has given up a run in the first without a hit. He hit Delano DeShields, who stole second. Ball was on a throwing error. Advanced. And it was on a pickoff move by John Gray. And then a fly ball to the outfield.
De La Rosa, as George mentioned in the open, 10-1 last year in this ballpark. In his career, 35-12.
Who says you can't pitch at Coors Field? It's amazing. Now, people say, what separates him from
Did he go? No swing.
Other people that have pitched here? If you look back at guys that had success, Francis, Jennings, Cook, they have the ability to throw the ball hard. They have the ability to throw an off-speed pitch for strikes. De La Rosa's last pitch, 96 miles an hour.
We haven't seen that since prior to the Tommy John surgery. Here's the 2-2. And he's a little high with that. And it's 3-2. Jenny talked about this being the birthday of Jorge De La Rosa. He turns 33. Turned 33 today. And here's the payoff pitch to Aaron Hill. Strike 3 right there. Aaron Hill obviously was looking for something else because that was down Broadway. 2 outs.
One swinging up out of the zone, one painted in the zone. Really framed well by Pacheco. Very quiet hands. You watch this ball on the Mike Shaw Subaru Supermo. When the ball gets into the home plate area, you can see Pacheco extend, lock the ball, doesn't let it carry it out of the strike zone.
2 outs, nobody on for Paul Goldschmidt. He gets a curveball to begin. Good idea. And it's 0-1 on Goldschmidt, who's been tearing everybody up. And a .414 average, really just picking up where he left off from last year. Another breaking ball, and quickly it's 0-2.
Hard to find guys with a good average, decent speed for a first baseman, steals some bases on you. You see all those numbers from last season and what they ranked in the walk-off homes, guys that gets big base hits for you. The RBIs were first, home runs tied for first, walks third. I mean, this is a complete hitter, and we haven't done this yet. And they're obviously play 2 different positions, but I'd love to see Goldschmidt's numbers matched up against Mike Trout's numbers. You know, I think Goldschmidt's one of the better hitters in the National League, power hitters, RBI guy, the whole works. And then what Mike Trout does to him. Dougie, just saying.
Mike Trout's somewhat in a league by himself. Here's the 1-2, that's high. Here's the neat thing about Goldschmidt, George. He was drafted in 2009 in the 8th round. This wasn't, you know, a first-round pick or a sandwich pick.
Out of Texas State, which is not a huge mecca for baseball players.
Down in San Marcos, Texas, playing that Southland Conference. Here's the 2-2. Splitter in the dirt, 3-2. The Ford Strike Zone is powered by Ford Cars. Big MPG, smart technology and unsurpassed quality. See what happens when fun meets the road. Ford, go further. 2 outs, nobody on. A couple of punch outs to begin the ball game for Jorge De La Rosa. And it's 3-2 on Paul Goldschmidt. And he didn't bite on another splitter, so a 2-out walk to Goldschmidt, and that'll bring up Martin Prado. You know, Goldschmidt has reached that level where even with 2 outs early in a ball game that's scoreless, you don't mind if you pass on him.
Why not? I mean, what's the big deal? You know, you're more comfortable against somebody else. This is where you look at a lineup. Who can beat me? Who's hot? Who's not? And this guy stays hot all the time. I'm not going to let him beat me.
And here's Prado, who yesterday it didn't look like he'd be playing today. He thought maybe he'd be out for a while. The tag is made as Charlie Blackmon is cut down. And I talked to Martin earlier today, and he didn't jam the finger. We're trying to guess what happened. He did get spiked, and he got cut on the finger. It did not require stitches. And he's always been a gamer, a guy that plays every day, and he's back in there this evening.
Looked like more than anything, just the spike pinched it against the base, because a lot of guys are trying to get that tag down in a hurry, but he just wasn't able to do that.
Goldschmidt will draw a throw again.
A lot of times you'll throw to first base to draw the runner back when you're thinking about throwing a curveball, something off speed. Didn't know that, did you?
Well,
only reason you do that, you want to
short. like to run on off-speed pitches,
so,
if they can.
But you try to shorten that lead up a little bit at first base. You see Goldschmidt, even though it's a fastball on a 1-0 count, he still, his first reaction was back to first. Pacheco's about 195 to 2 flat to second base when throwing the baseball. Major league average is 2 flat. I'd like to see that out of a catcher.
Slide step. from De La Rosa. I don't see him do that much, George.
You know, for me with left-handers, it's okay to use it occasionally, but you've got the base runner. That's just my opinion. You got a base runner sitting right in front of you. You can step off the back of the rubber, fake a throw. You can step off and throw. You can take about 5 different moves to first base to get him think you're going to hold him. He's not going anywhere, particularly if you're known to have a halfway decent move.
Here's the 1-2. Jorge this inning. Again, velocity's not everything. It's about location, but he's been 94 to 96 and a lot of 95s.
Been pretty good. Been real good.
He's a man of immense pride, and he is very emotional. He'll be the first to admit it. When he's on the mound, he's a different guy, and you know he was embarrassed by what took place. As this misses 3-2, what took place 5 days ago in Miami.
Well, again,
and it was addressed by Walt Weiss behind closed doors with Jorge and with Willeen.
Right, and you know what? It got addressed with Willeen in there. This guy's going to catch, you're going to pitch. You know, and I'm sure it was brought up too, just like we did in the open. 4 innings, you were pretty good. You know, just because something happened in the 5th, what was going on in the first 4?
Good point. Goldschmidt will be off. 3-2, line drive, foul.
They're coming right at you at home, folks. Get your glove out. You got a chance. For those of you wondering, Jeff Francis is in AAA with the Cincinnati Reds. He threw 6 innings shutout, punched 9 out the other day.
Good for him.
Yeah, still at it. Actually came pretty close to making that Reds ball club out of spring training in long relief. He pitched well, plus they had a lot of injuries.
Another 3-2, and that is going to stay fair. It's going to go to the left field corner. Long run for Cargo. Goldschmidt's going to get a green light, and here's the throw. It's not going to be in time, and it's a run-scoring double for Martin Prado. 4th RBI for Prado. And Arizona breaks on top 1-0.
I want to look at this pitch again because he'd stayed away from him pretty good. That got elevated on the 8th pitch, and it came in, and it's a little bit elevated. Those other pitches he was able to take to right field. And De La Rosa was able to get that strikeout on the first batter, Pollock, on a fastball up and away. That ball was more about belt tie and out over the plate. And, of course, Goldschmidt can run, so you don't have a pretty good shot at it. I thought this was interesting. Most wins by left-handed Mexican-born pitchers. Fernando, Eddie Higuera, remember him?
Teddy, yeah.
And De La Rosa's third on that list was 70. Thanks, Doug.
Trumbo swings and misses. Three longest home runs here in the first week of the season all took place yesterday. 2 were here. The longest of the day, thus the year, Giancarlo Stanton hit one 457 feet at Marlins Park. The ball hit by Trumbo yesterday at deep left center went 447, and Cargo's went 443 off the facade of the third deck. Prado at second with 2 outs. Here's the 0-1. And that's just foul. Jumping out of the way was Mike Molinsky. 0-2 slider that sat in the middle of the plate. The only poor pitch really of the day for Juan Nicasio, who was just outstanding. Now they changed it. Giancarlo Stanton went 484, I guess. We're going to read in the paper one day he's going to hit one of Fort Lauderdale.
Or they're going to see it floating by Cuba.
Right? Imagine if he gets in shape, George.
Yeah, if he started lifting weights, it'd be a whole different game.
This is a big man also, Mark Trumbo.
This is only because of the runner out on second base. You got a 1-2 count here. Make sure you're on the same page with what you want to do.
It's also now the 30th pitch coming up with the first inning.
As a catcher, you go to the mound and you can make suggestions to a pitcher. I'm seeing that front foot open just slightly. I think he's trying to guard against beat inside. Let's go away. Or I see the foot staying going straight up, straight down. The hands are right on it. I think he's on that away pitch. I think we can jam him on his hands.
1-2, and that ball cuts inside. 2-2.
And part of that is now it's up to the pitcher. And I've said this my whole life. When I look in the newspaper, and then if you lose a game or win a game, it doesn't say El Pacheco, it says El De La Rosa. So you're the one in charge of this ball game. Take charge of it.
Now 3-2, and that's been a pattern. He has gotten ahead of hitters. Goldschmidt, he got ahead 0-2, lost him. Got ahead of Prado 0-2, went to 3-2, and fouled off a pitch and then doubled.
Well,
he was ahead 0-2 at Trumbo, now it's full.
Yeah, and when the ball sails like it did on this last pitch, if you watch the hand, the delivery's fine. Just watch the hand position on the baseball.
And he loses Trumbo. That'll bring up Miguel Montero. The good thing here is, though, Miguel's a very accomplished hitter. He does hit lefty, so it's a left-on-left situation.
There you go. Mike Shaw, Super Superman. Watch as you roll this through. What you want to do, and we're going to get, as soon as it gets out of it, see, this is a split that he threw and it sailed away from him. If you stop, let it go a little more, right here. See how the hand is out here? You want that hand right behind the baseball on top. So now when you come through, you're coming down through it, because if the hand gets flat and you spin, obviously it's going to run away. I mean, it sounds simple, but when you're on the mound throwing and you're trying to make a pitch to a guy that can hit it 447 feet, you're trying to make that perfect split. But that's why with De La Rosa, sometimes scouts will say, hey, was that a slider he was throwing last night? No, it was a split finger, because he pulls so dramatically out front with both fingers.
This is turned into a long inning, and it started in dominant fashion. 2 punch outs to begin things, Pollock and Hill. Then a walk, a double, another walk. And this will be the 33rd pitch. Miguel Montero at the plate.
Well, you never like it as a catcher. You know, here comes that split finger. You've been thinking it's going to sink away. Now all of a sudden it's going to dive away, and it just gets foul tipped right into the thigh. That'll be a bruise.
One and one. Mike Winters is behind home plate. As you look at Miguel Montero's numbers. Just missed. 2-1 at the top of the Ford strike zone. Mike Winters, the crew chief, 23 years a big league umpire. He's worked 3 All-Star games. He's worked 3 World Series. He was on the crew when a couple of guys went past 3,000 hits. Tony Gwynn, Cal Ripken Jr. Two and two. Boy, a lot of pitches, George, now.
Yeah, that's the bad side of what to watch in this game. You know, you start to look at it, start to wonder. Because early in the season, they were at about 75 to 85, maybe 90 at the max. They're going to have some short innings here as this game continues.
And the Rockies have been on defense for 20 minutes. Here's the 2-2. Another 2-2 and another foul ball. Auto glass damage, trust Safelite. Go online to safelite.com or call 303-287-5000 to schedule an appointment. This is the fourth 3-ball count. Well, actually, it's a 2-2 count. So if it were to go to 3-2, it'd be the fourth 3-ball count. 1-0 Arizona. Make a pitch. Well, there it is. Now you have 4 3-ball counts. And the bad news, in addition to the full count, is now the runners will be in motion. That aided Goldschmidt in scoring on Prado's double to left.
Sure did.
The trail runner's Trumbo.
Try to get this crowd behind Jorge and let him get this last out. This last strike.
This is his 40th pitch. And he'll have to throw a 41st. You hope to be well into the 3rd inning at 40 pitches.
And I just asked, the truck, and I know they probably don't do this, but how many balls have been fouled off? Was Goldschmidt fouled some, Trumbo fouled some, even Pollock, the first hitter, fouled some. This guy's fouled 4 or 5. I mean, that's his 5th foul ball this at bat.
You got Owings on deck. George, he's on the fastball. Do you throw the hook here, 3-2?
Well, here's the thing about it. As a catcher, what have you caught for a strike so far? He's got 1 hook to a right-hander, remember? To Goldschmidt for strike 1. If you do, I mean, boy, if you're the pitcher, throw it right at him and let it break to the middle of the plate and don't hang.
He threw the curveball and he got him. Long inning, 42 pitches, minimal damage though. Arizona does get a run, 1-0. Rockies will be loading up the bats in a moment. Rosa, the Rockies batting order is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com. Mr. 6 for 6 will lead it off. Charlie Blackmon with a robust .563 batting average, and he'll be followed tonight by DJ LeMahieu. DJ slides into the 2-hole. Cargo will bat 3rd. Cuddy will bat 4th. Justin Morneau, Nolan Arenado, Jordan Pacheco, Charlie Culberson, and then De La Rosa. And again, nothing's wrong with Tulowitzki, just being given the day off. Brandon McCarthy from Cheyenne Mountain High School and Lamar Community College. His number is brought to you by Inova. Visit InovaCC.com.
Well, nothing more than 12-0 at Lamar. But since then, there's been a little rough sketching for him. He's been to the big leagues. He's obviously the accident with the line drive. Most games he's ever won at the big league level, 9 with Oakland. That was back in 2011 when he won 9 ball games. Last year, 6-13. I'm going to correct that. 5-11 last year with an ERA in the mid-5s. In his career in April has struggled. 6-13 in his career in April. Last year against the National League West, he was 4-2. The rest of the league loved him. He was 1-9.
He worked 6 2/3 in his first outing. Ended up giving up 5 runs on 6 hits. His final line, not nearly as pretty as how he pitched. Talking to Bob Brentley earlier, who does their broadcasts on television. He said he really pitched pretty well. Got painted up a little bit.
Yeah, said he pitched really well, and they felt like at the end of that inning, maybe they extended him too far. And I read on their webpage today that, you know, from comments from Mike Harkey, from Kirk Gibson.
Toward the hole. You know what? You just can't get him out. That's 7 straight knocks.
You mentioned yesterday Rennie Stennett 7 for 7. Dougie, I know it's crazy, and we've probably talked about it. What's most consecutive hits in baseball? How about that? Golfed that right off the top of the turf, folks, and just took it between the hole and between first and second.
Charlie came into the ball game leading the National League in slugging percentage at .938 in the opening days of the season. Here's LeMahieu. Charlie takes off, good jump, hit and runs on. It's a high chopper. Gonna have to hustle off the bag or no? Nope. Goldschmidt stayed on the bag, and DJ LeMahieu is out, but moving into scoring position is Blackman for Cargo.
All right, well, yes, most hits in a game, right? Or 2 consecutive ball games. Juan Pierre 9 before he made an out. Charlie's got 7. What a high chop right off the front part of that plate. They're going to come over and grab it and have to get rid of it in a hurry, and he did stay on the bat.
Usually, George, if you hit a 2-run bomb about 5 miles and a 2-run triple, you're the offensive player of the game, right?
Should have been, but no, some other guy went 6 for 6.
The first numbers, that's what Cargo did yesterday.
See, I know Trumbo hit his home run a long ways, 447 or whatever it was. But it just seems farther when you hit the third deck.
It does. Cargo takes a strike. Here's something. It was the 7th time in Carlos's career that he has produced a home run and a triple in the same game. Tried to give a souvenir to all those good folks up on the rooftop, George.
Did it with a left-hander who drops down sidearm and just left it in the middle half of that plate. And there's some bat speed generated there. Wow.
Blackman off second with 1 out. Inside, 2-1. McCarthy ready. And Cargo bounces this one past Eric Young at first. 2-2 count.
How about this, Drew? Walt Dropo. You ever played with him?
Is it Dropo?
Well, it looks like Dropo to me. With the Tigers, had 12 consecutive hits. In 1952, Ted Williams reached base 16 consecutive plate appearances in 57.
Amazing.
It's amazing that Dougie can find all that stuff like that.
Cargo keeps the AB alive barely. Try to hit the back door, George.
Yeah, he does. Here's that curveball. See, way up on top, the angles, hands on top of the baseball, trying to bury it in that bottom half. Cargo well out in front, but just nicked the baseball.
That's in 3-2. Good eye.
If somebody can understand how to throw the breaking ball at altitude, you would think McCarthy. If he had 12-0, led the league in strikeouts at Lamar Community College for that feel of what you have to do.
You know, last year he threw the curveball more than he did the previous season by a bunch, but the league really hit his breaking ball. We'll show you those numbers in a little bit.
Pretty good hook right there.
Yeah.
Really good curveball.
2 outs. Our cold hard fact tonight is brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light. More on what Charlie did yesterday. 6 for 6. Only 67 players since 1901 have gone 6 for 6. The major league record is 7 for 7. Rennie Stennett did it in a 9-inning game in '75, the only one to do it. Cesar Gutierrez did it in a 12-inning game back in 1970. 2 outs, Michael Kadire. 5-game hitting streak to begin the season for Kadire. Hitting .455.
You know what, guys? Today is Rennie Stennett's birthday. He is 63 today.
You know what? I'll tell you a funny story here in a little while, Mark, about Rennie Stennett after he twisted his ankle at second base sliding.
Didn't that end his career?
Ended his career, but I played winter ball with him that winter in the Dominican afterwards. And he went up to see a voodoo doctor in Haiti. Yeah. I wouldn't get out of the car. I'm locking doors, dude. This guy came out with horns on his head and smoke everywhere. I said, I ain't getting out of the car. You crazy? He played the next day, said it felt better.
Here's the 1-1 outside, 2-1 on Kadire. The most hits in a game, if you're wondering, 9. Johnny Burnett back in 1932 for Cleveland in an 18-inning ball game had 9 hits. Three and 1. Morneau is on deck. Got a couple ex-twins stacked together with Kadire and Morneau. Arizona up 1-0. We're in the bottom of the first inning. Charlie Blackmon, if you're just jumping on board, a single. Move to second on a fielder's choice. 3-1. And a ground ball to short. So the Rockies will leave a runner in scoring position. We'll go to inning number 2. Diamondbacks leading 1-0.
Field. Nolan Arenado is behind me as he comes out to third base. Nolan and Cargo yesterday got their gold gloves that they earned last year before the game. It was a pretty cool presentation. You cannot miss those Rawlings gold gloves that come out, those mementos. And I was talking to Cargo yesterday, and he said, I said to Nolan, do not miss the presentation, which was in November in New York City at the Plaza Hotel, because Cargo missed it the first time he got it. That was his third, guys. Well, no, Nolan didn't miss it. And you know who gave him his Gold Glove? Brooks Robinson. And Cargo had his given to him this year by Al Kaline. He had Frank Robinson before, but Cargo told me he regrets not being there for his first Gold Glove.
Yeah, that's neat stuff. Cargo's going to get a few more. Nolan Arenado, I'm sure, will get a few more as well. 1-1 the count on Chris Owings, batting 7th for Kirk Gibson this evening. Arizona leading 1-0. A 42-pitch first inning for De La Rosa. He struck out the side eventually, but he worked 4 3-ball counts into the mix, and there were 11 foul balls in the inning. On the ground, deep in the hole, and Culberson did well just to get to the baseball. It'll be an infield hit for Chris Owings. Well, as the inning was ending, last half inning, Charlie Blackmon was at second, obviously running as soon as the ball was struck, and he wanted to check on Martin Prado because he had spiked him yesterday. It was a completely clean play, but he's checking on him, and two classy guys there, and I'm sure Martin appreciated Charlie asking about him.
You notice how Charlie did something right there, how he looked down and he looked up in the sky and he looked back down up into the sky again. Basically what you're doing is testing the flight of the baseball. You're looking at your distance. You're looking how you're going to adjust to that type of thing. As an outfielder when the ball's hit. Gray skies here at Coors right now. The lights are on. Should be able to pick the ball up okay. But you know, Charlie doing a good job of just preparing in case the ball's hit to him.
Good fastball. Who wants tacos? Remember, if the Rockies score 7 or more, or how about a 12 spot as they did yesterday, go to participating Colorado Taco Bell locations the next day. Do it between 4 and 6 to get your Rockies taco special. Live Moss at Taco Bell. 2-strike count on Parra. Hadn't been a problem getting to the 2-strike portion. It's been putting hitters away for De La Rosa. Runner going 0-2. That's unusual. Throw to second. Safe. Not typically a count you see guys steal bases on. His 3rd bag of the year. And Walt's going to come out. See if this is worthy of a review. He's in there.
Well, he's going to come out and he's going to talk to the umpire, and then he's going to turn and look at the dugout and wait for a signal from the dugout. The umpire's trying to kind of block his vision right now, but they're waiting for the phone call from upstairs and then turn around and head to the dugout. You see on the Mike Shaw Subaru Super Mo that he did get in. Tag on the shoulder, hand got in.
And he strikes out Parra. 4th strikeout for De La Rosa. And that'll bring up McCarthy.
More almost, you almost want to call it. It's 84 miles an hour, but you can see it's a split grip. That's where he really gets on top of it and pulls with the middle finger. And by pulling with the middle finger, you create a situation where you give up a nice slider and you get the strikeout. Well, that's weird. That's a weird hop right there. That had eat me up all over.
Yeah, it's going to cost the Rockies a run also. McCarthy had 1 career hit. That ball ate up Justin Morneau, and it's 2-0.
Anytime you start to back up on the baseball, the ball's going to bite you. But that's really kind of the only choice Morneau had. tried to field it off to his side. First priority, got to try to catch this ball, but that top spin here, and as he went back to get it, hit on the thumb edge of the baseball and then just slid into the outfield. Run scores, McCarthy's at first. What did we run it the other day, Dougie? Since 2006, Justin Morneau, the second highest fielding first baseman behind Teixeira with the Yankees, as at the start of the season, among active first basemen, of course. Things not going the way you want them to in Tulsa for Jonathan Gray in his first start at the AA level. 3 innings, 3 hits, 4 runs, 3 earned. No walks and 3 strikeouts. He gave up a home run in the second inning to Tucker. Preston Tucker is his first of the year.
I don't know if I've seen a game like this one, George. This is the 10th hitter that De La Rosa has faced. He's gone with 3-ball count, I think, on 5 hitters now, and I think he's been 0-2 on about 6 hitters.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. The National League average pitches per at bat is right around 4. It's like 3 point. It's close to 4.
Right, and right. 17.1 pitches per inning.
Per inning, and De La Rosa right now averaging 5.4, because he's on the 10th batter, as Drew just mentioned.
Another 0-2. Ground ball to third. There's one, no throw. Pollock runs very well. Two gone. Aaron Hill will be coming up. Rockies fans, once again this season, we will answer your questions during Toyota Talk. Text Toyota, followed by your question to 720-720, and watch as your questions are answered during the 5th inning of every game. So Pollock trades places with McCarthy. Hill struck out looking on a fastball. 2-0 Arizona.
One guy that has swung the bat extremely well against the Rockies in his career, a 340 average. That covers over 40 games, so not a fluke.
Diamondbacks at 1-6, matching their worst start ever. You have to go back to their first year, '98.
And all the publications started at the year Dodgers Diamondbacks. Dodgers Diamondbacks. I think it's been a shock for Kirk Gibson. It's been a shock for Kevin Towers.
But the one thing to keep in mind, you're talking about 7 ball games.
7 ball games, and the other thing to keep in mind, you had to go to Australia and play 2 ball games against a very good baseball team with the Dodgers, number 1. Number 2, you lost your number 1 pitcher in Corbin. You lost your number 1 setup man in Hernandez to Tommy John. So now you got to try to overcome that. That's not easy to do. Plus the time lapse when you came back. I don't know how many games they played in spring training after they came back. I know the Dodgers played a couple, but I don't know how many the Diamondbacks played. We were there that last weekend and they didn't play at Salt River.
Good pitch. 1-2. "58 pitches in 2 innings. He's not out of this inning yet. What a job by Nicasio yesterday.
Oh, what a pleasure to watch yesterday. Through 3 split fingers, he got 2 ground balls and a fly ball on it. A new pitch that he's working on, along with the hard slider that he's really gotten consistency. And I think it all comes back to health, Drew, with feeling good about that front side knee, being able to get that extension out over that front leg like he's never been able to do before, and the confidence that it has given Juan Nicasio when he takes the mound.
Talking to Miguel Montero earlier today about Nicasio's stuff. He said, man, he got ahead of everybody. He really located his fastball, and He said he's got a really good arm. Slider was consistently good.
Well, it's kind of a surprise pitch now. Guys, they watched him a year ago and he didn't have the slider. The previous year didn't have the slider. Now all of a sudden he got the slider. They're like, wow, where did this come from?
And another foul ball. This is reminiscent of, speaking in a costume, remember some starts last year, George, where Juan would get ahead and then there'd be foul ball after foul ball.
But he didn't have a wipeout pitch. He didn't have a hard slider. He didn't have that split finger. And tonight for De La Rosa, he's been uncomfortable with that split. When he has gotten a strikeout, it's been on a hard split, as it was to end the inning, and it was the strikeout earlier in this half inning when he struck out Parr.
One, two, and it's lifted left field. Carr goes out there, and this will be the third out. A run for Arizona, an unearned run, 2-0. The Diamondbacks leading. Middle of two at Coors Field. Inning. Justin Morneau will lead off for the Rockies. Let's take a look at the Diamondbacks defensive alignment. Is brought to you by Excel Energy. Visit responsiblebynature.com to learn more. Mark Trumbo again played a lot more first base and DH in the American League. He's out in left field. AJ Pollock runs well in center. Gerardo Parra is a Gold Glover. This ball lined to center field, and it's tracked down there by the Stanford product, AJ Pollock. One out. What'd you used to call that, George? A guab?
That's a guab. Goodwood AB. Go grab a seat there, buddy. First guy to say that to me, Roy Thomas, #1 pick of the Philadelphia Phillies. Just saying. Minor league times that you spend a lot of time sitting in a bullpen talking. You come up with a lot of names for baseballs.
And that's why I've said many times, that's why you're a little different.
I'm a little different.
A little too much idle time out there.
That's right.
Nolan Arenado. And his first look at Brandon McCarthy tonight. The pitch is in there for a strike. Brandon last year faced the Rockies for the first 3 times in his career. His hometown team, if you will. 0-1 with a 6 ERA against Colorado a year ago. And this is chopped up the middle. Owings is going to get there, and he'll throw out Arenado. 2 gone. That'll bring up George Pacheco. It's also time for you to tweet your Rockies photos to us using hashtag RockiesFanPhoto for a chance to have it shown during an upcoming game broadcast. It's brought to you by AT&T. Jordan making his second start of the year. 3 for 4 in his first start. 5 for 7 in his career against McCarthy. Jordan learned a lot last year. He was telling me a couple days ago he didn't have the same playing time as he did 2 seasons ago when he hit 309, which was 5th in the National League. That's a strike. And you learn how to be a professional where you may not have your at-bats bunched together where you can get in the same rhythm. He said that's where you have to really take advantage of batting practice and stay focused and stay in it mentally. And this ball's hit hard, but it's right at Owens. Good inning for Brandon McCarthy, quick and efficient. The Rockies are done in the second. Arizona leading 2-0 as we move on to inning number 3 at Coors Field. From Coors Field, great crowd yesterday and first evening game of the year. Subaru is bringing you the Manager's Challenge this season. If there's a questionable call, instant replay will be used to determine the outcome, as I'm sure you're all aware by now. It's brought to you by Subaru. Love, it's what makes a Subaru a Subaru. Middle of the order for Arizona. Jorge De La Rosa needs one of those 8-9 pitch innings, and he's got a tough customer up there, Paul Goldschmidt, and he starts him out with a curveball and misses high, ball 1.
And you've mentioned throughout the telecast so far, it's not hard to get ahead 0-2. It's been being able to finish off and not get to 3-2.
Splitter or slider? We always tell you it's tough to tell with De La Rosa. It has similar movement as splitter and slider. He was in there for a strike. We can attest to that. It's 1-1 on Goldschmidt. 26-game hitting streak.
And the hard part is he'll expand it from 79 to 86 miles an hour. That's what makes it difficult to call it a changeup or a slider or a cutter.
Kadyr's out there, and that's a tough play. And the reason is, George, as you know, that has that trajectory of a line drive can get up in the lights, and it may have been knuckling also. It was hit so hard.
Yeah, when you square them up like that, a lot of times the ball will knuckle right at you. We'll go back and look at this pitch right out of the hand of the Mike Shaw Subaru Supermo. You can see the split, how he rides it right on top of the 2 seams, and now what he's trying to do is get an even pull out front. When you get that even pull out front, you get a chance to go down. So Goldsmith's just a really, really good hitter.
Here's Prado. He doubled in Goldschmidt in the first inning, and he takes strike 1.
Yeah, struggled against the Rockies too. 16 ball games. In 2013, he only hit $179, which was a little unusual because when he was with the Atlanta Braves, pretty good at it. Now, if De La Rosa can figure out a way in the Rockies, figure out a way to win a game tonight, they will tie. He will tie, I should say, Aaron Cook for all-time wins in a Rockies uniform with 36. Cook 36 and 32. De La Rosa 35 and 12. Obviously the best winning percentage, Jorge De La Rosa.
Those numbers are ridiculous. Now here's what we have, a great camera angle of what happened to Michael Kadire. Watch the ball flight and watch the LED strip across there. I think is where he may have lost the baseball momentarily.
You saw that down in Florida with Stanton, that the ball got right into that LED lights, and he just ducked out of the way of it to keep from getting hit with it.
1-2 on Prado. Off the end of the bat, Jorge, he's not going to be able to get there, and it's going to be an infield hit.
I was surprised he didn't go ahead and continue after the baseball. I think he's a little disappointed he didn't either. He made a good pitch. He broke off the mound and then kind of hesitated, and then it was too late after that. Prado understands he's got a chance for a base hit here just because of positioning everywhere. And Morneau thought that De La Rosa was going to go get the baseball, so that's why he backed off of it. A lot of times pitchers will just backhand that as quick as they can, and then they're in a foot race with the runner to get to the bag. Eliminate that extra throw.
That's a good move by Pacheco also. Going out. Yeah, your pitcher just, ran a little bit. I know that might not seem like a lot, but make sure he catches his breath and has a moment to rest before he faces Mark Trumbo.
And here's the thing: as a pitcher, you made a good pitch, and a guy got a hit off of it, even a squibbler like that. Catcher comes out and says, hey, great pitch. Let's get us one on the ground right now. In other words, something positive back at you. Get one on the ground, get a double play, and get out of this inning.
Good block by Pacheco. Trumbo, for the first time in his career last year, drove in 100. He's got 9 ribbies in the first 7 games for Arizona. Last year he didn't produce his 19th or 9th RBI until April 21st. I think anytime you change your uniform and you're in a new locale, you want to get off to that quick start, that fresh start, as you get to know the fans in a new environment. Trumbo's been able to do that.
And it makes it a little bit tougher. You're switching leagues, American League to the National League.
2-1.
So when you come over, you're facing, let's say, Jorge De La Rosa, and you're asking these teammates, who does this guy compare with you've seen in the American League? What kind of repertoire does he have? So you kind of have a mindset going into the ball game, what to expect from this guy. Some teammates may look at you and go, I don't know. Good luck, pal. I just know it's nasty at times. And at times you can get after it every game.
2-1. This ball's well hit right field. Kadire looking up, and it's going to leave the yard. Opposite field, 2-run home run, Mark Trumbo, and it's now 4-0. 4th home run on the season already for the former Angel, Mark Trumbo.
And 11 RBIs. I mean, you just don't see many guys. I don't care how big they are. They go opposite field like that and do it with authority. I mean, you got some short porches, Yankee Stadium, where it's 310 down the line. Yeah, this is 350 down the line. This isn't even down the line. It's out over the chute down by that party area that the Rockies have next to their bullpen. That's pretty squared up here. Just go to show you how strong he really is.
Miguel Montero, after a lengthy at-bat, struck out his first time up. De La Rosa not enjoying the birthday he had hoped for.
No, they blew out the candles. That's not nice.
And that was pitch number 75 with 1 out in the 3rd inning.
Well, and you got to try to get a day game tomorrow, and you got a bullpen of 7 guys. You're probably going to add Boone Logan tomorrow, but he pitched back-to-back days, Thursday and Friday. So I mean, De La Rosa is just gonna have to hopefully shut down some high pitch count innings and get you at least to the 5th before you got to go to your pen. But Boone Logan threw back-to-back nights too, so I mean, it's not sure he'd be available tomorrow, so he may not even get activated tomorrow.
No, he probably is not going to be ready till Monday. 2 outs, Chris Owings at the plate. Base hit to deep short, his first time up. Player of the Year last season in the Pacific Coast League. way inside. Now, the first inning, 42 pitches. You're going to be in an uphill battle after that. LeMahieu will come and get it, and that's all for the Diamondbacks, but more damage done. They scored a run in the first, a run in the second, and then the two-run shot from Mark Trumbo makes it 4-0, middle of 3 at 20th and Blake. Up 4-0. Trumbo a two-run home run moments ago. Every time your favorite player gets a hit, it could mean a monetary donation to Special Olympics and the Children's Hospital Colorado. Join Root Sports and the Rockies today in their new initiative, Batter Up for Kids. Every single, double, triple, and home run makes a difference. For more info and to back your favorite Rocky, visit Rockies.com/batterup. He's ready to go. He's ready for a Rockies rally. Charlie Culberson batting 8th against Brandon McCarthy, and he takes strike 1. Charlie came in the ball game late yesterday for Troy Tulowitzki. Walt Weiss with the Rockies up by a bunch of runs, took a few of his regulars out to get them a couple innings off their feet. Hard ground ball, good play by Goldschmidt, 1 out. And Charlie yesterday had 1 at bat. He came up with the bases loaded, and the first pitch hit him. So he got an owie, but he got an RBI.
Owie and an RBI, not a bad thing. You're talking about Goldschmidt, the athlete. He's pretty good. Going to stay down on one knee, going to be able to aggressively take the ball, if not on the leather, off the chest and make the play.
De La Rosa with 1 out.
6 of 8 first pitch strikes so far for McCarthy, which when you work ahead and counts, the league hits below 200 at 0-1.
Brandon has retired 7 straight after giving up a single to who else? Charlie Blackmon. De La last year threw out just 2 knocks, 2 for 52. So he wasn't going to win the award at the pitcher's room at the end of the year for highest batting average.
And trust me, there's a lot of pride for that. Starting pitchers want to be good hitters. Relievers, you never get to hit. You might get 5 at bats all year at the most, and that's if you're the long guy.
My 2 guys are Chatwood and Chacin.
Oh, well, come on. That's not right.
Who do you want? I'll give you first choice. Who do you want?
Chatwood.
You'll take Chatwood?
Yeah.
I guess I got Yolis. Who won it last year, Doug? Who had the most hits last year? Chacin or Chatwood?
I think Chacin did.
Yeah, well, Chatwood missed some time.
Right. Charlie becoming the hometown hero all of a sudden. 7 for 7, make it 8 for 8. Come on, Charlie. Lay a bunt down. They're playing back.
He told me a funny story today around the cage. You know, his folks were in Miami to watch him play down there, and so he didn't have any family here, but one of his high school football teammates, one of his close friends, get in a hole. Cut off, foot race. McCarthy got there. One of his closest friends came in from Atlanta and blew off the game and went skiing instead.
Perfect.
Yeah.
I want to come, Charlie, to opening day. Nah, I'm going skiing.
Give me a ticket. Hey, man, I heard the conditions were really good. I'll catch you tomorrow night. What'd you do? You went 6 for 6? Rockies go quietly in the third. Arizona up 4-0. One hit, that was Charlie Blackmon's, and he almost had a hit right there. That ended his string of 7 straight hits. And the pitching comparison, De La Rosa's thrown 79 pitches or 48 more in 3 innings than his counterpart Brandon McCarthy, who will hit second here in the inning.
By the way, Drew, Chacin and Chatwood each had 12 hits. Tie. So my guy didn't even have that many opportunities, and he had 12.
Walt Weiss wishes Chatwood had 1 less hit during spring training.
Yeah, no kidding. Or at least let it be a single. Trying to stretch it to a triple.
Chatwood can come off the DL on April the 12th, and he is throwing. And speaking of throwing, Chacin has been pain-free. I want to say, I was talking to Scotty Murayama, who's the rehab coordinator for the Rockies, and Keith Duggar, who's the head trainer. I think he threw in the neighborhood of a 65 or 75 pitch bullpen.
Today he was supposed to throw live batting practice 45 pitches. He threw a 30 pitch bullpen, then he was going to jump and do 45 without the L screen out in front of him. By the way,
but he's throwing his whole arsenal.
Feels, yeah, all 4
the ball,
pitches.
Everything
feels great. By the way, Chatwood hit 316. Jolie's hit 190. Your guy hit 190. Mine hit 316.
That was last year.
316. That's all I'm saying.
That was last year. Listen, I hope they both hit 316.
I hope they come right back together at the same time and they hit 400 with about 3 home runs.
1 and 2 on Gerardo Parra. Struck out his first time. The guys that have won big at Coors Field understand that they're going to be nice to give up some runs, but you just have to persevere. The guy who's around the Rockies a lot now, George, who's maybe the best at it because he did it in the pre-Humidor days, and that's Pedro Estacio.
You turn it into an American League game. How many starters in the American League that are 3, 4, 5 starters? Ball hit right at Cardinals. That they go 5 innings, 6 innings, and give up 4 or 5 runs. They win a ball game. They win 6-5. Or the team wins 6-5. That's all you got to do. Don't worry. The shutout's gone, the no-hitter's gone. Just worry about trying to get as deep into the game as you can. Of course, the thing that jumps into it is the pitch count. I mean, you're at 84 already.
Here's Brandon McCarthy. That is a fair ball. Morneau goes to the bat. Let me correct one thing. I missed by one day. I thought Chatwood was eligible to come off on the 12th of April. It's actually the 13th of April that he's eligible to come off.
Bike to the game every Sunday home game this season with the first on April the 6th. Get more info and ticket specials at Rockies.com/green. So make sure you do that to ride the bike to the yard tomorrow.
That is yanked foul by A.J. Pollock. The decision for Walt George, depending on how this inning ends up. Next pitch is 90. You'd love to get 5 on a tough night for De La Rosa out of him.
Yeah,
one less your bullpen has to face, but you also don't want him throwing 108
they can't do it.
in early April.
You can't do it. I mean, you just can't. You got to be able to get down into you don't want to do it, but you're going to have to do it.
Ground ball to short. This will be the best inning, obviously, as Culberson throws out A.J. Pollock. 90-plus pitches in. Middle of 4. Rockies work to do. Down 4-0.
Of this 2014 season. Rockies down 4-0. Opening day, nothing like it. 7 different Rockies players and Blake Doyle, the coach, their first opening day. Let's hear from 3 of the Rocks.
Unbelievable. I mean, all the emotions that you feel when you're out there on the line with your teammates and everything. And the relationship goes deeper than just being teammates. You know them on a personal level and everything, and so you're excited for everybody to be there. It's a band of brotherhood.
So just the national anthem and just the flag being out there and the balloons going up and standing out there on the line is cool.
Them calling out my name and number, and yeah, that was something that I'll always remember.
So we heard from Bettis, LeMahieu, Culberson, Dickerson was the one, Blackman was new, Tommy Canely was another, also Blake Doyle, and it was just kind of cool. I talked to Culberson again too, and he said, you know what? And I got hit by a pitch and got a ribby, so it was a great day.
It was an owie and a ribby.
It was. He said he'll take that any time to get an RBI.
Well, that'd be special. Every guy's special, but I think for Culberson, whose dad played, that's got to be pretty neat for the family. DJ LeMahieu, all those guys standing out there. What's funny is you hope you don't blow a game on the road trip before you come home, or have a bad start or an 0 for 4 or something bad happens, because most guys you're not going to get cheered a lot anyway, except unless you're Vinny Castilla or Arenado or Tulo or Cargo. So you just don't want anybody to yell, "Hey, you stink," out of the crowd on opening day to just destroy the whole day.
They're going to put a shift on for Carlos Gonzalez. We don't see this very much. 3 on the right side. Kirk Gibson studying spray charts.
But Mark Wiedemeyer, who used to be their advanced scout, now went with Williams to Washington as one of his bench coaches, defensive arrangement guy, or whatever you want to call him these days, defensive coordinator, whatever it is. But he works with Matt Williams now in Washington. So I'm not sure who their advanced scout is now.
Two 2-0 on Cargo. 1 out, nobody on. Rockies down 4-0. And it's 3-0.
There was a gentleman asked the other day, was walking down the street and asked the comment. He goes, "What do you do when you have 5 infielders where you bring the center fielder in?" I said, he goes, "And it's hit to the guy in center." He goes, "Well, it's 8-3. He went, "Really?" I said, "Yeah, it's 8-3. He caught the ball. His position was there. I said, the key to this, everybody has to be in fair territory, except for the catcher. They're the only ones that are allowed to start the inning or a pitch being in foul territory. The reason I brought it up and we had this conversation was Jim Brock, the coach at Arizona State, with Bump Wills playing second, and the bases were loaded. He was fearful of a walk, intentional walk, and he was going to have a wild pitch. So he took Bump and put him behind second, which was against behind home plate, which was against the rules.
Here's Michael Kadire. He bounced to short his first time up. And this ball lifted high and deep right center field. Did Kadire get it? You bet. 2-run jack for Kadire. And the Rockies are right back in it. Second of the year for the Cuddy Man. Got his silver slugger earlier in the day, and then he used his 34-inch wand and knocked it out of the yard, George.
Right center field where you have airflow traffic out there, and this ball got up there, and he smoked it right into it. That crowd out in right center field and that new deck pretty happy with the play and the result. And you're right, exactly. Right back in the middle of this ball game.
Morneau lined out to center field his first time up. Here's the 1-0 to Justin. Checks his swing. 2-0.
Ball away from Michael Kadire allows you to really extend and get a lot of bat speed and a lot of strength behind that swing. You can see how far those arms got extended on the Mike Shaw Subaru Supermo and driven into right center field. The thing about it, when he hits a home run, I thought that ball might get through. When he hits a home run, he hits it and he acts like he was supposed to hit it. You don't see the hands go in the air. You don't see the big hops. I mean, he's hit dramatic home runs. Yes, he gets excited. But he is back in he is a throwback. Hits the home runs, drops the bat, runs around the bases. And a lot of guys would do the bat toss, everything else. He just kind of drops it, runs, and takes off. He had a great mentor in Harmon Killebrew in Minnesota.
Well, George, you played for that organization, and it's always been a first-class operation.
You're going to play one way, their way.
Nolan Arenado, and swing in which Nolan obviously was fooled. Center field, pretty good wood, deepest portion of the ballpark. Is that gone? Yeah, that's gone. Home run. Nolan Arenado makes it 4-3.
Had been struggling with the bat, average at 138. Didn't struggle on that one, folks. He smoked it dead center field, about 430 feet from home plate.
It's not marked on the wall, but George is absolutely right. In those corners, it goes out to about 424. That is a long, long way from home plate.
Boy, he jumped all over this. He ambushed that high fastball from McCarthy after missing on a bad curveball. And then this, out of the reach. Ooh, it doesn't matter. It's still a home run. It was in the glove of Pollock before he got to the yellow line. See, watch. It's going to be in his glove. And it's going to be inside the park, but his momentum flips the ball over the glove before he touched the ground. It's a home run.
What a great look on the
great camera work.
Mike Shaw Subaru Supermo.
Now let's look from up above in a high home or a high center field area. I mean, he caught the ball, then the glove hit that, and it just bounced straight up in the air.
Here's Pacheco. No lead is safe with this lineup, and especially at this ballpark. Kadire, a 2-run shot. Arenado with his first of the year to dead center. 1-1 on Jordan. 1-2 on Pacheco.
You talked about Pacheco a year ago hitting in the low 240s, 250s. The year previous, 308, third, sixth in the National League. The year before, I truly believe this, that he hits very well in his career in April too, 342. He got an awful lot of at-bats the year he hit 308, no question. But he got a lot of at-bats in spring training the year he hit 300 because he was trying to make a baseball team, and they wanted to see if he was good enough or not. This year, injured halfway through. Well, it's been a hot bat so far. Rockies trailing this one after Kadire and Arenado go deep. It's 4-3.
Number 179 for Michael Kadire, his second of the year. That's the first for Arenado. 1-run game. Time now for our first bank game recap. Rockies have tightened things up using the long ball. Charlie Blackmon got a base hit in his first at bat, robbed of a hit really in his second at bat. Kadire a moment ago, a 2-run shot. followed up by Nolan Arenado with a home run. So it's now 4-3. And De La Rosa is still in there. And that was his 91st pitch, and he hits the strike zone against Aaron Hill. 2, 3, and 4 for Arizona. I need not tell you how important it is to get the Rockies back to the dugout quickly for Jorge De La Rosa.
Tommy Kahnle is warming up in the Rockies bullpen. I think once he hits that triple-digit number, regardless, it's going to be a bunch. I mean, it's tough to have a 6-pitch inning to get 3 outs.
It's our Toyota Talk inning. So we'll try to get to some of your questions. Can you please explain the Rule 5 draft? Chuck in Falcon, Colorado.
Go for it.
Well, guys, that's a tough one. But guys who are not kept on the 40-man roster and have, this is lifted to center field. What is it, 4 years, George, in the minor leagues, and if they're not, if 5 years, and if they're not protected on the 40-man roster, another team for $50,000 can pay and acquire that player. And it goes in order of based on how you're doing in the standings at that point in time, or the year before, the previous year, because it's in the off season. And so Tommy Kahnle came from the Yankees. Now here's the one caveat, and it's a very important one. If you select a guy, he must stay on the big league roster the entire year. If not, you have to offer him back to his original club for $25,000.
And he must pass through waivers prior to going back to his former team, which Tommy Kahnle would not pass through waivers if the Rockies attempted that.
1 out, 1-1 on Goldschmidt. What do y'all think of instant replay so far? I have no issues with it. You know, you're going to get the calls right, and so far it's been done in an expeditious fashion. So it's not like you're sitting there sometimes like the NFL and you're waiting 5 minutes to determine what, you know, whether a receiver caught the ball or whether it was a fumble or not a fumble.
As long as they keep doing it quickly, I have no problem with it.
1-2 on the dangerous Paul Goldschmidt.
It paid dividends today. It paid dividends today for the New York Mets, where a call was reversed and Ike Davis hit a grand slam to win a ball game. Those are all the things that, you know, you could.
That was a walk-off granny.
Yeah, go and have them look and review.
6-3 final. The Mets beat the Reds. Well, it was a count favoring De La Rosa, and once again it's worked into a 3-2 situation. He's had a number of those this evening. Goldschmidt, a walk in the first, and he lined out to Kadire and Wright in the third inning. Here's the 3-2. Walked him again.
De La Rosa's up second in the inning.
And that'll be all.
Right.
Walks out of the dugout. That was his 101st pitch. Now, you know how badly De La Rosa wanted to get back out there after his performance in Miami, and he did a good job tonight, George, controlling his emotions. He had good stuff. He just couldn't put away hitters. So he departs after 4 1/3, down 4-3. Tommy Kahnle will be in next. Out, one on for the Diamondbacks. Martin Prado coming up. Jorge De La Rosa has departed, and Tommy Kahnle is on. It's his second big league appearance, and he pitched fairly well in his first big league appearance against the Marlins.
Hard thrower, 95 miles an hour. Best secondary pitch is his split finger, or off speed, his changeup. He will show a hard slider / curveball. 27 pitches in his outing, inning in 2/3 the other day. Had one hit given up, and they give up a run on a walk. He'll face the heart of this mess over here right now. He's going to get Prado, and then he'll get Trumbo and Montero. So right, left coming up.
Mike in Denver wants to know what's a sandwich pick. They're compensatory picks after the first round of the draft. They're still considered first round picks. So if you lose a type A free agent, he signs elsewhere, you will be given a compensatory pick. So you will pick somewhere after,
between the first and second round.
Right, somewhere between the first and second round. That's why a guy could be picked 37th in a given year, and that still be considered a first round pick or a sandwich pick.
Eddie Butler, Tim Wheeler, all sandwich picks.
Kahnle's fastball misses ball one and came in at 95. He looks like a reliever, doesn't he?
Big square-shouldered guy.
Early in the season, who has the advantage, pitcher or batter? Mickey in Denver.
I think the pitcher does if the weather's bad, cold, obviously. Nice weather, I think it goes to the hitters.
Kadire will make the running catch, 2 outs.
You know, all Kahnle's trying to do right now, let's shut the inning down. You know, you look back, Matt Daly in 09 was outstanding at it. Maintained the ball game. So you're looking, he's going to hit second in the inning. He's going to hit second in the inning. So you want him to be able to maintain, shut this inning down, give you 1 or 2 more, get you into the 6th inning, 7th inning of the ball game. Now you go back into your bullpen and keep it a 4-3 game and give the offense a chance to do damage.
Here's Trumbo. He had a 2-run home run to right field his last time up. Matt Daly, wasn't he in the Yankees organization last year?
Still there. Came up to the big leagues, pitched 12 innings, had a very fine 220 earned run average. Became a minor league free agent. Signed back with the Yankees, had a good spring, and is in AAA again.
Good for him.
Yeah. Oh, Checkers got smoked. Power. Man, he's got big power, too. That was an off-speed pitch, split going down and away from him. Just shows you how strong he is.
2-1, runner going. Pacheco's throw's not going to get Paul Goldschmidt.
Second stolen base on the year for Goldschmidt. Big jump off Kahnle off of him more than it was on Pacheco, even though his throw bounced. A little higher leg kick and hesitation at the top allowed him to get that huge jump, and at 6'5", when he hits the ground, he gets on top of the bag pretty quick.
He stole 15 bases last year.
Yeah, it's not a fluke. I mean, he's a Matt Holliday, young Matt Holliday type base stealer. 2 out base hit and RBIs are huge.
walk and that 2-run home run for Trumbo. 2 outs. 4-3 Arizona in the 5th inning. Goldschmidt now in scoring position. Here's the 2-2. Ground ball to first. Morneau, nice play. Canely gets over there. Nice job, Tommy Canely. We'll go to the bottom of the 5th inning. Rockies trailing by a run. Ford Focus, big MPGs and fun to drive Ford. Go further by CenturyLink, your link to what's next. And by Southwest Airlines, find our fares online only at southwest.com. Charlie Culberson takes a breaking ball for a strike to lead things off in the 5th inning.
In the past, the Rockies have been accused at times of protecting their minor league pitchers, watching pitch counts, don't let them get hurt early. Well, Jonathan Gray, 88 pitches in his first start this year, 6 innings pitched, 5 hits. So he's done a pretty good job there. The other day, Eddie Butler went 5 and threw 65. So you like the fact of what they're doing a little bit deeper here with Jonathan Gray. At 6 innings, 5 hits, 4 runs. He struck out 5. He did give up a home run. He trails in the game 4-2.
Culberson fouls that pitch off. 0-2 on Charlie. Culberson is brief career has hit .375 here at Coors Field.
Coca-Cola value packs, they are back for 2014 season, available early on every value game, including next Monday through Wednesday when the White Sox are in town. You can sit for $59, $79, depending on where the seat location. 4 tickets, 4 hot dogs, 4 Cokes, and a whole lot more.
Back up the middle, Aaron Hill. Very steady second baseman. Tommy Canely will hit for himself here with 1 out in the 5th inning.
Got to be his first at bat, huh? Dougie? He didn't hit down in Miami, did he?
The day after every Rockies win, get 40% off your online order at Papa John's. That means you can do it right now. Enter promo code ROCKSWIN at papajohns.com. Canely's out of Lynn University in Florida, but he grew up in the Albany area, Albany, New York area.
I'll tell you this, if he catches one, it could go. That's a strong man.
Goldschmidt's got it. 2 outs. That's his first professional at bat. Do you know that, George? He's in the Yankee system. Did you just say that?
Right, he was in the Yankee system and only got to Double-A. And the Yankees, they never hit. You know, American League teams a lot of times in the minor leagues, when they go National League against, like, let's say Corpus Christi, Houston comes to play Tulsa tonight, because they're in the home park, sometimes they'll let the pitchers hit. Now they don't do that anymore. They DH. So they always have the DH in American League teams. So last time he probably swung bat was wiffle ball in high school. Yeah, we're at the college fraternity house on a Saturday night under the lights.
0-1.
Not that I ever did that.
He got it in play, right?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. Hey, swing hard, something good might happen.
2 outs. Charlie's 1 for 2 in the game. And that one's going to be a tough play for Owings, and you're not going to get him. So Blackmon's your basic 8 for his last 9 at the plate. You got to enjoy this roll.
Yeah, you do. This is like getting on that great big wave of the surfboard, man. Ride it while you can for as long as you can. Right, Sammy? No shot. As soon as it hit off McCarthy, he had no chance. I think if he lets it go, one of those two guys probably catch it up the middle, maybe have a play on it. Glad they didn't.
DJ LeMahieu's 0 for 2, ground ball to third, and he was caught looking. 63rd time in his big league career he's hit in the 2 spot in the lineup. DJ hit .290 last year with a couple of home runs and 28 driven in. Trying to keep a 2-out rally alive. Carlos Gonzalez in the on-deck circle. Brandon McCarthy, whether it came from Miguel Montero or just on his own, thinking this is a pretty good running situation for Blackmon. Not a ton to lose, George. 2 outs, and if he were to get thrown out, you start next inning with LeMahieu, 2, 3, and 4 in your lineup.
Exactly.
You do swipe the bag.
Base hit.
You tie the thing up.
Basically the same reason Goldschmidt stole a base a minute ago with 1 out. There was 2 outs, excuse me, but Goldschmidt stole second with Trumbo.
There he goes. Good jump, and Montero doesn't even fire to second.
Second time Charlie has swiped the base this year. He's been caught 1 time. Big jump. What was the pitch called? It looked like a pretty good pitch. They called it a ball. Check the scoreboard real quick.
Outfield's shaded a little bit toward right center for LeMahieu. Yeah, Charlie Blackmon's deceptively fast. He's a long strider, but he picks him up, puts him down pretty quickly.
And he cuts the bases very well. That's the other side of it. Rusty Greer, who he went down and played college baseball with after starting his career as a pitcher.
Down the right field line. Blackmon's going to score to tie it up. That's how important that stolen base was. DJ LeMahieu all fired up at first, getting a pat on the backside from Eric Young. Rockies were down 4-0. They're all even now in the 5th with this 2-out rally.
Yeah, and again, it's just all he did was just soft serve this thing to right field, get his bat in a position for success, and exactly what he did. Pretty nasty curveball down and away from him, threw the bat at it, hard to even make contact. The Mike Shaw Subaru Super Mo, check it out. Right off the end of the bat, out of the reach of Goldschmidt, down into the right field corner after he makes a dive for it. Comes in and charges the baseball, Parra does, and then just no chance on the throw by Charlie at all.
Clutch hit, and DJ was clutch last year. Hit .310 with runners in scoring position. Shift is on again for Cargo. A strikeout on a 3-2 off speed pitch, and he walked on 4 offerings in the 4th inning. Go ahead run at first. Outfield backs up considerably. Inside, ball 1. Cargo last year at the All-Star break led the National League in home runs, slugging percentage, a number of offensive categories. He was on pace to hit 40 plus and drive in about 120. Limited to less than 40 at bats with that finger injury after the All-Star break. He shortened up a little bit on the bat, doesn't overlap quite as much, and he's changed the kind of handle he uses. He's been pain-free. Pulled through the hole, base hit. DJ was moving on the pitch. Stu Cole is going to send him. And the throw at the second, throw to home, safe at home. DJ LeMahieu scores all the way from first. Daring move by Stu Cole, and it pays off. Well done.
Look at scouting reports for this and where they go with their cutoff men and how quick do they get to the baseball. That's the key, and that's what helped make the decision for Stu Cole. A Sard hit single to center field. Watch when the ball's hit. DJ's on the move, and when he hits second base right here, Stu Cole's going to say, let's try it. Why not? They've got to make 2 perfect throws to the plate. They don't do it.
And you know what, George? It was a pretty good throw. In fact, it was a great throw, and he still beat it.
Didn't hang on to the baseball. Popped right out of Montero's glove when he came into the plate.
Mike Harkey out there visiting with Brandon McCarthy. All of this with 2 outs.
Pretty wide turn by DJ. Doesn't bother you because he's going to be out, but you can see the ball out front. Like Shaw Subaru Supermo, the ball just popped out as he went to apply the tack. He's safe anyway.
And as Kadire comes up, try to get one more look at this. We get a moment here. This ball smoked at second base, and they will get the force. Here's where that rule change came into play. In the past, Miguel Montero may have been blocking the whole plate, and it would have been difficult for DJ to find a place to slide. Not allowed to do that if you don't have the ball anymore. Rockies have taken the lead 5-4 as we go to the 6th.
Those 2 guys, a guy running the bases by DJ LeMahieu. You put the Rockies on top 5-4 in this ball game. I want to go back to why Stu Cole made the decision to send DJ LeMahieu. Parra's going to come up with the ball. He's going straight to second with it. As a coach, you know he's got to reverse his body, turn and get in a position to fire a strike to the plate. So when he saw the way they set up for a cutoff, which was not for a play at the plate, they were looking to keep Gonzalez from going to second and keep first and third. Once he recognized that, he just took the gamble, and the gamble paid off.
Yeah, great base running by LeMahieu and great coaching at third base by Stu Cole. So the Rockies down 4-0 after 3 innings of play. Got a 3 spot with the long ball in the 4th and a 2-out rally in the 5th, and they're up 5-4. Tommy Kahnle now on the plus side, a pitcher of record, and De La Rosa will get a no decision. Miguel Montero, Chris Owings, Gerardo Parra, 6, 7, and 8 for Arizona here in the top of the 6th.
And the key thing that you have to do if you're Tommy Kahnle is, you know what the score is. You know you just went on top. Is not get too carried away with thinking, I got my first major league win, I got my first at bat, I got out of that big inning. Focus where you are, and that's not easy to do for a young kid.
One and one on Montero. That's a strike at 93. Watch this when the Rockies took the field. Watch Cargo. He gets DJ LeMahieu's attention. I bow to you.
Thanking him for the RBI, man.
Yeah, he thanks him for the RBI.
A lot of guys pull up at third, pull up at second. They don't bust it to get to the plate.
And what an important one, a go-ahead RBI here in the middle of the baseball game. Cargo's now hitting 6 straight out of the gate, as has Michael Kadire.
And all of this is, more than anything, points towards a team that wants to win. And I emphasize team. With a lot of guys busting, taking the extra step, the extra mile, doing the extra things to win a ball game. That starts with coaches and everyone else.
That's a foul ball.
Yes, Stu, tomorrow he'll probably say, I had it the whole way. I saw the guy win. No big deal.
I'll tell you what, it begins with that man for me. There's just, we talk about it a lot. There's a quiet toughness, what a great competitor Walt was when he played. And he's a terrific communicator, and he does it in an understated way. And it's how you run successful businesses. It's about relationships. This ball to center field. And Walt's a big believer in that. You communicate, you're fair, you're honest, you're not trying to be deceptive in any way. And he's fond of saying, he goes, you may not always agree with me, he goes, but I am going to bring clarity to every decision that involves the players, and players will run through a wall. George, you would know that far better than I would for a guy like that.
Well, you like that. I mean, you like a guy that you know who the leader is, and you know who's running the operation. Makes a big difference.
There's Chris Owings, 1 for 2. Walt wants guys who are going to compete every single day.
Well, I think every manager does. I think you want guys that you know the 25th guy is going to understand what he's got to do, as well as the number 5 guy in your lineup, and what his role is and what they do. And that's where the communication thing comes in for me with a manager. Then you don't have cancer on your team. You don't have the 25th guy interrupting your thought or what you're trying to do.
Two-0's fouled off, 2-1 on Owens. Now time for you to tweet your Rockies photos to us using hashtag Rockies Fan Photo for a chance to have it shown during an upcoming game broadcast. It's brought to you by AT&T. Party deck was busy yesterday. Looks like it's busy tonight again.
Yep. Saturday night, date night. It's busy.
or Saturday night get a date night. Either or, right?
Just looking and admiring.
The rooftop. We're gonna do. I'm asking Mike Fox on the air, our producer tonight. We're gonna do a broadcast or two from up there this year. Is that correct, Mike? That is correct. Mike, you didn't hear Mike on the air, but he told me in my ear.
Oh, my partner's talking to the truck without hitting the button.
Well, you know what? I didn't feel like reaching over.
Right.
2-2 to Owens. Good location, George, on that heater.
It was a very, very good location. Yes, it was. Yep, coming right out of the hand on the Mike Shaw Subaru Supermo. You'll see this ball right on the outside corner and knees at 95. You can't do a whole lot with that.
See if he goes to that changeup, man. It is filthy. Here's the 2-2. That was the splitter. That's the split changeup. A little high, 3-2. Matt Belisle's tossing down in the Rockies bullpen.
With everybody rested, it would be where Belisle would normally work that 6th or 7th inning of a ball game. So, you know, with 1 out, 3-2 count, give him plenty of time. It's a cool night. Get himself loose.
Good pitch. Jammed him. Pop up. Shallow right field.
See, and right now really advantage Canely, because even though they scouted him in spring training, they saw him in a couple of ball games, you don't know what it's like until you see this third deck. The lights are on. You got 4 umpires, and he's airing it out. So you really got an advantage with that heater at 95 miles an hour.
Parra, a strikeout and a line drive to Cargo and left. 5-4 Colorado in the 6th. Diamondbacks have lost 3 straight. They've matched their worst start ever after 7 games at 1-6. Thank you, fans, for texting in your questions to Toyota Talk. For more answers to your questions, visit the Root Sports Facebook page at facebook.com/RootSportsRM, where our game analyst will answer a bonus Toyota Talk question before the end of the ball game. Good pitch, 1-1.
By the way, you wonder why Drew and I talk an awful lot about how Parra just kills the Rockies, swings the bat. Well, he hit 338 last year against him in 19 games, but he only hit 259 against everybody else. Ooh, watch out.
Yeah, another hit for Parra. That'll bring up Brandon McCarthy.
With a couple of outs, line drive right back up the middle on the heater. Well, you're glad you fall off first base side on those.
You know, ordinarily you wouldn't think this, but this is not a bad place to steal if you're Parra, because this is probably going to be McCarthy's last inning on the hill. He's got 86 pitches. So if Parra gets thrown out, McCarthy's not much of a hitter. But if he's in scoring position, you get a bloop, you never know. Oh, 66. My bad. I read your handwriting wrong, Dougie. My bad. So let me take that back, though. The Rockies are checking out Parra, but it's still not a bad situation, because George, if it flips over to the 7th inning, which it will for Arizona next inning, it's still 5-4. They're going to pinch hit for him.
I'll give you a crazier thought. Get a guy up in the bullpen, he steals second, you pinch hit a guy off the bench trying to score that one to tie it.
Well, you could do that.
Huh?
I think it's more likely, though, that
Oh, absolutely.
forget the pitch count.
Yeah,
the reason to
yeah.
run is that he's not going to hit for himself next inning, assuming they're still trailing. And Canely maybe losing his focus a little bit with the thought that Parra may run, has fallen behind 2-0.
Dollar Hot Dog Nights are back for the 2014 season. The first 10,000 on Tuesday, April 8th, will receive a coupon good for 1. Get your tickets now for that ball game.
DJ with a nice play, and on the tag, Morneau gets McCarthy, and that's all for the Diamondbacks in the 6th inning. We'll go to the bottom half of inning number 6. The Rockies leading 5-4 over Arizona.
On the rooftop to talk a little bit more about Charlie Blackmon on his feet yesterday. 6 for 6 in the game. You probably know that Andres Galarraga did that in '95. Well, a Rocky has had 5 or more hits in a game 25 times. That's not 25 different Rockies. Tulo actually is the leader with 3 games of 5 hits or more. Cargo did it twice last year. Todd Helton, in his storied career, did it only 1 time. And Drew and George, I was talking to Michael Kadire today about it because Kadire has no 5-hit games in his career at all. Morneau has 2 when he was with the Twins. And, of course, Kadire was quick to say to me, well, I hit a little bit lower in the order, not lead off. And then you know what he said? I have a lot of 2- and 3-hit games, and those add up. So it's kind of the way Michael Kadire approaches things. But no 5-hit games in Kadire's career.
I asked...
That's a little surprising, too.
Yeah, that is surprising. I asked Charlie, I said, all right, what's your greatest day ever? What's your second greatest day ever? Going all the way back to T-ball.
You can't go to T-ball.
You can go to T-ball.
No, you can't go to T-ball.
Well, probably not. But anyhow,
everybody
you get
gets
the
a
point.
Yeah.
And he said, probably in junior college, he said, I pitched and threw a complete game and struck out a bunch of guys in the first game with a twin bill, and the second game I hit a couple of home runs. Morneau,
that would be a good day.
Grounds out 3-1.
That probably would have given him player of the game for that one, too.
1 out, Nolan Arenado coming up. Boy, did Nolan get into one his last time.
Got a high heater up and away from him, and uh-oh. I thought it was kind of weird how it happened, too, because it hit right in the guy's glove. His glove hits against the wall, at the top of the wall, and goes out. Doesn't matter. That ball's a home run, and Nolan crushed it.
It's funny that some of the guys in the bullpen, I just noticed that because we've now seen it a few times. Some guys in the Arizona bullpen jumped up like he caught it.
Well, he did.
This ball high in the air, deep left field. Did Nolan do it again?
Yep.
You bet he did. Can't jump and catch that one. Another solo home run for Nolan Arenado. And the Rockies lead it 6-4. George, he may be the leading candidate now for player of the game.
He's pretty close, I'm telling you. It's yeah, I'm going to give it to him. Yeah, player of the game. Right field home run, center field home run, got another high fastball from him. As soon as he hit it, I think Nolan looks at it and says, man, I got this thing. I know I got it. He's going to watch the flight of the baseball, kept his head right on top of the pitch, and you can see it fly through the night.
This one is in the air to left field. It's going to stay in the ballpark. Jordan Pacheco flies out to fairly deep left field. You know who had to be really pleased with that, in addition to Nolan Arenado, who, by the way, just produced his first multi-home run game of his young career? Blake Doyle, because one of the things they've been working on with Nolan, he's always been such a good hitter throughout professional baseball, in the minor leagues, staying inside the baseball, is opening the hips, George, and turning on pitches up and in like he just did.
Yeah, and that's a fastball that was at 90 miles an hour that he turned on, too.
Culberson with a one-hopper to third, and Prado will throw him out. Rockies tack on a run as Nolan Arenado hits his second of the game. Blake Doyle approves. 6-4 Colorado as we move on to inning number 7 at 20th and Blake. Back. Rockies trailed 4-0, and then they started carving into that deficit. 2-run home run, Michael Kadire, his second of the year. And then later in the inning, Nolan Arenado would put a charge into one. Great effort by A.J. Pollock, but it goes over the wall. Home run, 4-3 at that point. The Rockies tied it up, and on this Cargo base hit, DJ LeMahieu running from first base would score all the way from first. And that would put the Rockies ahead 5-4. It's now 6-4 after another home run by Nolan Arenado. Adam Ottavino is in now. He of the very good slider. And he starts out A.J. Pollock with that slider at strike one. Top of the order for the Diamondbacks here in the top of the 7th inning. Fastball at the knees at 93. Numbers for Ottavino last year, 51 appearances, a very small ERA. Opposition hit just 250 against Adam. 0-2, slider left up. This is crushed left center field. Cargo chasing, and it's going to take one hop and go over the wall. A.J. Pollock with a ground rule double. That wasn't a good 0-2 pitch. And Ottavino shaking his head, telling Jordan Pacheco, boy, I didn't get that where I wanted it. You can see where Pacheco is set up. They want that away, or if anything, off the plate. And it just sat up in the middle of the plate. Sliders like that get hit a long way. Aaron Hill now. Bunts it in the air, but it goes all the way back to the screen. Log on to CFD Rodeo /Mellencamp for your chance to win tickets to see John Mellencamp at Cheyenne Frontier Days. It's also the summer's largest country music festival. Grand prize package includes a VIP CBR bull riding World Finals experience, a meet and greet, plenty of other stuff. For official rules to enter, visit cfdrodeo.com /Mellencamp. And good job by Pacheco to corral that slider.
The other day with Ottavino pitching too, that hard slider, and it can be late depending on the arm angle of Adam Ottavino, and that ball got off the end of the glove of Pacheco and trickled away.
Struck him out. Good job by Ottavino. Strikes out Aaron Hill, and Hill fails to advance Pollock. One gone, and that'll bring up Goldschmidt.
Yeah, good hard slider here, and Pacheco does a nice job of rotating out on the right leg to get in a position. Look at his eyes, track that ball all the way into the glove upon reception of the baseball. You know, earlier in the ball game, I'd asked for Dougie to look up a comparison and then on Paul Goldschmidt and Mike Trout. We'll show you that in a minute.
This is a huge at bat in this game. Let's
Wow,
look at the
pitch.
comparison.
And again, you know, home runs are about the same. Doubles, you know, 92 for Goldschmidt, 65 home runs, 64 home runs. The runs scored, obviously Trout a little bigger base stealer. And Goldschmidt with more RBIs, and got 20 more games too.
He's going to have more RBIs also by where he hits in the lineup. Trout's led off a lot. He hits in the 2-hole. Two great players. And that graphic demonstrates that. This is a huge at bat because there's a possibility if the Rockies pen does the job that Goldschmidt doesn't come up again. And obviously he is the most dangerous hitter in that Arizona lineup. One out in the 7th inning.
You'd like to see both Trumbo and him not come up again.
Well, absolutely, but you understand that Trumbo, there's more holes in Trumbo's arsenal in terms of how to pitch to him than there are Goldschmidt.
Yeah, just one swing of the bat scares me with Trumbo. I mean, he's just a guy that you make a mistake, he's a great mistake hitter.
Here's Trumbo.
He's shown that once, 4-11. 4 home runs, 11 RBIs. Of course, Goldschmidt 4-14 with a home run and 4 RBIs.
Goldschmidt tonight 0 for 1. Lined out to right, couple of walks. Good speed at second, and Pollock. 1 out, 6-4 Colorado. Crossed him up, George.
Made a very good pitch when you needed to. 93-mile-an-hour fastball, thinking after you'd seen that hard slider, guess what? I'm not going to get another one of those fastballs on the inner half. All I'm going to get is all sliders, and he got the fastball and got a bite.
That's the thing you have to keep in mind with Ottavino. So many sliders, but he's got an above-average heater.
Well, it used to be 96, 97. It was well above. Now it's still well above at 93.
That one fouled off. That was at 94.
I mean, he's a guy that when he was starting for the St. Louis Cardinal organization, first came over, he would touch 97. Of course, the workload and everything else that goes into it out of a bullpen, and he's been worked a lot of innings. They have that very good slider to go with it. Rex Brothers warming up for the 8th inning, obviously. And then you would see Roland Smith.
How did he not fire at that?
He's a good hitter.
Yeah, great discipline by Goldschmidt.
Yeah, he's a really good hitter. There's Roland Smith, the left-hander from Australia.
Yeah, good story. He'd been out of the big leagues for 3 years.
Seattle, right? That's who
Yeah.
he's with most of the time as a starter.
3-2. Slider, see you later. What a pitch by Ottavino. He just froze Paul Goldschmidt. 2 gone, and that'll bring up Prado.
Yeah, big hard slider. See that first freeze of the hips? Watch right here on the Mike Shaw Subaru Supermos. The ball's getting into home plate. Watch this. Watch right here. Freeze up. Got his hips frozen. Now he's lost. They've already started to rotate to the zone. He was done. I mean, that's a really good shot of it right there. That back knee started to fire into the zone. Then he stopped it. At that point, it was over.
Good sequence from Adam Ottavino. Jordan Pacheco goes out and has a conversation, and now Prado, who's 2 for 3, doubled in a run in the first, had an infield hit in the third. That's poured over at 94. It's 0-1. Real good crowd tonight on a Saturday night. A little bit chilly, but you'd expect that on April the 5th. View from the rooftop. Rockies up 6-4. Top of 7. Pollock at second, 2 outs. And it's 1-2. Ottavino, a Brooklyn native, played his college baseball in Boston at Northeastern. Not normally a haven for big leaguers. One and 2 on Prado. Slider, Ottavino was halfway to the dugout. He thought he had the inside corner. Mike Winters said nope, it was inside. The 4 strike zone agrees with Mike Winters.
The only reason why is because it wrapped around. You know, it came from around the corner of the plate and never did make its way back over the plate. You'll see it right here. I mean, that ball's inside. The crowd likes it. You'd have liked it. A big moment, but it ain't happening.
See where he goes here. Slider again. See you later. What a job by Adam Ottavino. After the leadoff double by Pollock, he strikes out Hill, Goldschmidt, and Prado. 6-4 Colorado. Stretch time at Coors Field. Upcoming schedule, it's brought to you by CenturyLink. Link to what's next. The White Sox will not be here Sunday. Arizona's still going to play here on Sunday. That'll be tomorrow, and then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, the Chicago White Sox will be here, and then the Rockies will be off on another road trip. They'll play in San Francisco for 3, and the Padres for 4 before returning home to take on Philadelphia. And brought to you by CenturyLink. Nice job, George.
How'd I do? Is that pretty good?
Yeah, it's pretty good. That'll work.
Typo.
Typo. Ryan Roland Smith, native of Australia, is in the ball game. Mentioned earlier, it's a good story. Battled injuries the last 3 years. Earned his way back to the big leagues, making the Diamondbacks during spring training. And then he gets to go down to Australia.
And they paid for it. Didn't even have to buy the round trip ticket.
He had more family there than anybody, I'm bet.
17 hours on an airplane. Here you go. This season, a couple of ball games, yet to give up a run in those 2 innings. He struck out 2, walked 1, working out of the bullpen now.
And Brandon Barnes is going to pinch hit for Adam Ottavino. Charlie Blackmon on deck. Boy, can't say enough about that job by Adam Ottavino again. So off to a good start here in 2014.
Arizona 0 for 7 in the ballgame with runners in scoring position. Colorado 1 for 3, but for Colorado, they've been in scoring position at home plate. Right, Dougie?
They've hit 3 home runs tonight, 2 by Arenado, 1 by Kadire. And this ball's got to get down, and it will. Leadoff pinch single for Brandon Barnes.
Speed aboard.
Wells Fargo customers, get your 2-for-1 Rockies club level tickets by going to wellsfargo.com/Rockies. Wells Fargo Bank, N.A. member FDIC. Blackmon 2 for 3 in the game. Roland Smith checks on Brandon Barnes. The Rockies play small ball here. Couldn't be any hotter.
Well, that's one of the big reasons you do it here. Plus, I think you might run a chance of, because he's a contact guy, just put guys in motion, open up some things. You get a ball on the ground, you got first and third again. Look at left center field right now. Throw the slider away and let it hit out there. Talk about playing him to pull. Either that or Trumbo didn't listen and move over, one or the other. And they're talking about here, I mean, we're talking about a big old gap right here that's just wide open.
Looped foul and out of play. 1 ball, 1 strike. Brandon McCarthy went 6 innings, allows 6 runs, all of them earned, 7 hits. He walked just 1. He doesn't typically walk many. Struck out 3. close.
Real close. See that foot up in the air? That's when he made the snap throw over, because now you got to put pressure back down, put that foot back down, and get to the bag, and he did. Barely.
"31-year-old Ryan Roland Smith on the hill. And this is going to land safely in center field. Barnes got a good read. He'll go first to third. Third hit of the ball game for Charlie Blackmon. That's 9 over 2 days. That ain't bad.
Man, he kind of smirking over here at Paul Goldschmidt going, what do you think? Goldschmidt, can you just give me a couple of flares? That's all I want. This ball on the hands a little bit of Charlie. He gets the head out on it, pulls the slider, dumps it into outfield and right field, kind of right center. Barnes, with his speed, ends up at third base. Watch Charlie get his hands. You talk about getting him inside on the baseball. Charlie did a really good job of that. Rex Brothers continues to warm up to pitch the 8th inning.
That ties a team record, 9 hits over 2 ball games. He ties Juan Pierre. That was a safety squeeze, not a suicide squeeze. Barnes waited until LeMahieu got the bunt down. Obviously it went foul. That's a great view of it.
Absolutely. And a good time to pull it off, too. Nobody out. Playing back. Just get it pushed hard to second base. That's all you got to do.
You rarely see it back to back, but George, as you were describing, it's still there if you want it.
That's right.
Mayhew handles the bat well. Roland Smith's stuff's not overwhelming. Nobody out first and third. Rockies trying to extend their lead. They're up by 2. Cargo's on deck.
MLB Premium TV, that's right, the #1 live streaming sports service, is celebrating 12 years now. Join the millions of subscribers and watch every out-of-market game live and in true HD on over 400 devices.
Pitch out, nothing on, 1-2.
Call from the bench, Alan Trammell, former middle infielder, former manager.
Glenn Sherlock in the picture behind. Kirk Gibson's had some changes to his staff since taking over. He's in his 4th full year. Eric Young was part of his staff for a while.
2 years. And then he left and went over to Houston, worked in television, and now with the Rockies.
Back where he belongs. Roland Smith's one of these guys, especially now, George, after all the injuries. He relies on you getting yourself out. Again, it's not stuff where you go, man.
Well, left-handed stuff. I mean, if you learn to sink, you learn to cut, you got the curveball, you got a large mixture of pitches you can throw for strikes, but it's not a blow-away 95-mile-an-hour fastball. Nor was it ever. I mean, he's
runner going, and it's punch foul. Seventh foul ball of this at bat.
Tried to
pretty good bluff by Montero.
Didn't work.
2-2.
And this is pretty good because it's a cutter and it's going to work down and into the right-handed hitter. You're hoping to get to swing him over the top of it, but Montero didn't receive it very well either. By the way, Kyle Parker with a hit and 2 RBIs tonight. Last night he was 3 for 4 with 4 RBIs, having a big start as Colorado Springs leads in that ball game, 7-1. It's in the 5th. Tyler Matzik has gone 5 innings, 2 hits, 2 walks, 11 strikeouts.
Wow,
5 innings.
That's great to see. And Matzik back. He was working out of the pen, George, during spring training, and he's back in the rotation. Former #1 pick.
Yeah, 2 hits, 2 walks, and 11 strikeouts in the ball game for Matzik. He's thrown 83 pitches, 53 for strikes the other night. Christian Friedrich, 9 strikeouts in 5 innings.
This is pitch number 11 of this AB. And Blackman back to first. First and third, nobody out. Back-to-back singles. Brandon Barnes, who was pinch hitting. Charlie Blackman, his 3rd knock of the ball game. Cargo on deck. Rockies up 6-4. At one point, they trailed 4-0. Trying to get back to 500 on the young campaign. That is foul ball number 8. The battle for LeMahieu. Cargo an RBI single his last time up. He got it picked off and he dove back in. Blackman was heading the other direction.
He definitely was. Watch him start to lean. As soon as you start to lean towards second and start to make that move, that's when you have the chance. A good throw right on the back, maybe a little closer play.
He's going now. This ball driven right center field and deep by LeMahieu. What a catch by Pollock. Barnes tags and scores, and they'll get the double play at first on Blackman. That was a great catch by A.J. Pollock, robbing DJ LeMahieu of extra bases. DJ will get the sac fly. 7-4. It's why you never just jog home if you're on third. You tag on everything. Never assume. What a play by Pollock.
It is. He has to chase this thing, reach out, catch it right at the last second. He's tracking, never left his eyes off the baseball. Able to catch it, and it's wheel and fire in to the home plate area. Now you're going to see the tag. He's going to catch and take off. You see Barnes striding out. Now you see Charlie there, and he knows he's got to pick it up a little bit and get in before Charlie, the throw back to first base.
So here's Cargo, 1 for 2 and a walk. Great at bat by DJ LeMahieu. DJ LeMahieu's quietly had, as he always does, man, he's had a big game. DJ running with the pitch, Cargo a single to right center field, and he never stopped. He got the green light from Stu Cole, and he scores the go-ahead run from first. And then that at bat a moment ago. On the inside corner at 87, it's called a strike. It's 1-2. Blake Doyle just came over to DJ and said that was a heck of an at bat. 12 pitch AB. And Cargo goes down against the curveball. In the inning, the Rockies tag on a run. We'll go to the 8th. They're up 3, 7-4 on the Diamondbacks. As we go to the top of the 8th inning, Mark Trumbo is going to lead it off. Rex Brothers is now on the hill for Colorado. If you miss any of the game tonight, Root Sports has got you covered. See the best highlights and plays of tonight's game tomorrow at 1 in the afternoon before the Rockies take on the Diamondbacks in the finale of this series. Don't miss a moment with Rockies double play. Back for another year. 1 hour before first pitch, half hour before our pregame show. Rex Brothers a year ago made 72 appearances. Worked some in the closer's role. League hit just .209 against Mr. Brothers.
He became the main closer when he had to because of injuries to the bullpen. 19 of 21 save opportunities. Betancourt went down. He became the guy. The other day walked a couple of hitters, but able to work out and have a scoreless inning.
Hits the outside corner at strike 1. Go back to the start of 2011 after the home run earlier tonight for Trumbo. He's hit 99 home runs. Only 2 players in baseball have hit more since the start of the 2011 season. Miguel Cabrera and Jose Batista of Toronto. Good company to be in. Maybe surprised he's 4th on that list. Jay Bruce in a tie, George, with Adrian Beltre.
Wow.
2. We'll see Beltre later on this summer. The Rockies played Texas 4 times. Last year it was a 2-2 with Houston. This year it's the 2-2 with Texas. The quote-unquote natural rivalry, and I say that with a wink.
The state of Texas or Houston?
But Beltre, George, we'll have this conversation more when the Rockies do play Texas. You look at the numbers, guy's put up Hall of Fame numbers.
He has. Been consistently a very good ball player.
Great third baseman. On the ground, wide of third. Fastball, strike 3 at 92. Trumbo is dismissed, 1 out.
A couple of fastballs, 89, 90, and then he got after it a little bit at 92, but he put it in a very good location. Almost an unhittable location from Rex Brothers. Got right on top of the baseball to Mike Shaw Subaru's Supermo, working downhill with some velocity.
Four straight strikeouts by Adam Ottavino and now Rex Brothers, and it's strike 1 on Miguel Montero.
No walks over 3 innings so far for the Pin.
Tommy Kahnle, an inning and 2/3, allowed just 1 hit, no other base runners. Jorge De La Rosa started. Jorge had a great fastball. I mean, he was sitting on 95 most of the night, touched 96. The problem was he would get ahead of hitters 0-2 and couldn't put them away. He ended up going just 4 1/3, gave up 4 runs, 3 earned, and threw 101 pitches, just 4 hits.
But he's going to have a good birthday because he spit the hook out and doesn't have to swallow the loss.
That's
so
right.
far, so good.
And if the Rockies can get 5 more outs, they'll get to shake hands. They're up 7-4. Trying to get back to 500. Good pitch, and it's 2-2. Auto glass damage, call Safelite or go online to safelight.com. The number is 303-287-5000. That's Safelite. Dodgers lost again at home, 7-2 to San Francisco. Yasiel Puig was back in the starting lineup tonight. 2-2, got him. Nope,
foul tip.
Foul tip.
And you've got your glasses on.
My distance glasses.
He just barely did, didn't he?
Will Harris is throwing.
Former Rocky.
Former Rocky, yeah. Center field. Charlie's got it. 2 outs. That'll bring up Chris Owings. Cardinals and Pirates renewing their little rivalry from the postseason. And the Cardinals won tonight 6-1 over Clint Hurdle's Bucks. Congrats to Clint. He and Neil Huntington, the general manager, were given extensions today. That'll run through 2017. After a 94-win season, the end of the playoff drought, end of the non-winning season drought. Clint's done a great job in Pittsburgh. Here's the 1-1. 2-1. Hey, back-to-back days, George. We got tacos. Fans, the Rockies have hit that magic number of 7. Don't forget to go to your participating Taco Bell locations tomorrow. Do it between 4 and 6 to get your Rockies taco special. 12 yesterday, 7 tonight. And a ground ball to DJ LeMahieu. Good inning for Rex Brothers. 1, 2, 3 in the 8th. We'll go to the bottom half of inning number 8. 7-4 Colorado.
A 7-4 lead on the Diamondbacks. What a day it was for Charlie Blackmon yesterday. He continues today with 3 hits. I want to go back to last week in Miami when Jenny Cavnar snapped this picture of Ryan Spilborghs and Charlie Blackmon together. Spilly with a little tug on the beard. They got a little something going on because, you know, Spilly wore 19 before, and now it's Charlie. He's passing on the power of number 19. So, guys, Ryan Spilborghs has something to do with this hot streak for Charlie Blackmon because of that social media pick.
Listen, he's going to be tugging on his beard every day. Michael Kadire leading off against Will Harris. George mentioned Will pitch for the Rockies.
Had Tommy John surgery. Took almost 18 months to 24 to get back from it. But when he did, he was special in Tulsa, then on to Colorado Springs. Then was brought to the big leagues here, taken off the roster, claimed by Oakland, and then claimed again by Arizona. And that's where he got a break last year. Pitched very well for Oakland, or excuse me, Arizona a year ago. 61 ball games, a very good earned run average, 2.91 for Will. Always has possessed a very good breaking ball, very good 12-6 hook, and a fastball that'll go 88 to 92, touching 93 occasionally. He strikes out Kadire on a curveball in the dirt.
Got 20 games in 2012 with the Rockies. He's an interesting story because he went to LSU. It's a great baseball program, as you all know. At LSU, he wasn't a pitcher. He played first and third until his senior year. And that's when he pitched for the first time for the Tigers.
So he and Casey Weathers were really good friends. Casey Weathers a right fielder till his senior year at Vanderbilt. taken in the first round of the Rockies in the draft.
Justin Morneau is 0 for 3. He's hit the ball hard a couple times.
Troy Hawkins getting it going down in the bullpen.
8, 9, and 1 in the batting order for Arizona. Two and 1. Left field near the line, and it's not caught. It's a fair ball. Trumbo will have to go play fetch, and I'm sure that'll be scored a double for Morneau.
Yeah, I don't know any other way it could be scored. As the ball is, he slid right into the foul territory area to try to catch this baseball. Morneau, typically somebody that takes the ball to the right side of the park, takes it down the left field line, and fair by just a foot and a half as it hit off the glove of Trumbo. And as you can see, he's got his eyes focused, thinking he's got a shot at this thing as he took off running. But as the ball got to him, he just came up short, slid a little bit early. We'll get to the ballpark early this Sunday as the first 15,000 are going to receive a batting champ bobblehead gnome, courtesy of Wells Fargo. Arrive early. Gates will open at 2 hours prior to the ball game. And all that is about Michael Kadire, who got some luggage today, and they'll visit with him tomorrow about that.
How about the night for Nolan Arenado?
Yeah, earlier we wanted to show you this. Michael Kadire got Silver Slugger Award, a batting champion award. He got a big ring with a bunch of diamonds on it. It's a good night for Kadire.
I'd say so.
The fans.
And he goes out and hits a 2-run home run.
He had a big night here too for Nolan Arenado. Man, how much fun's he had.
He's 2 for 3 with 2 solo home runs, one to dead center and one towering blast to left. Another RBI out there, and Morneau at second. Justin with that double, by the way, has hit in all 5 of his starts this year. Brett Anderson against Wade Miley tomorrow, a couple left-handers. With the injury to Corbin, Miley now sitting atop the Arizona rotation. Here's the 2-1. Steady win. Fourth inning, Arenado. Look how far he hits this thing. Great effort by Pollock. He had it in his glove and then ended up going over the fence. He probably helped it out inadvertently, and then there was no doubt about this one. Two, and that's line down the left field line. That'll get another run home. Morneau coming down to the house. Back-to-back doubles, 8-4 Colorado. Have a night, Nolan Arenado.
A little happiness in that dugout, as there should be. Hanging curveball from Will Harris out over the top of the plate. He throwing one in the dirt, got a check swing. This one he threw up, and he got a double down the left field line for Arenado. Just keep tacking on. 8-4 right now. LaTroy Hawkins warming up in the bullpen for the Rockies.
Jordan Pacheco 0 for 3.
The other day, Will Harris, a couple of bad breaks and some big base hits. Gave up 5 runs in an inning and a third in relief of McCarthy's game. That's why McCarthy's game looked pretty ugly that he started in. The bullpen came in and didn't help much.
You always play a lot of divisional games in the month of April. The Rockies a year ago won only 74 games, but they played well inside the division. They were at 500 at 38-38. So we'd like to improve on that this year. This is a golden opportunity to start 2-0 inside the division.
Arenado, 10 total bases. That's a career high for him tonight.
This ball's unloaded deep right center field, and this one's going to one-hop off the top of the wall. Third double in a row. Pacheco brings home Arenado. It's 9-4.
This ball club can do this to you, and right now Montero going to go out and visit with Will Harris a little bit because of this pitch. Not a bad one. It's just kind of down the middle of the plate, though. Pacheco, a very, very good low ball hitter, drove this ball out into right center field, out of the head, out of the way of everybody. It was easy for Pacheco to get into second base. Nolan to home. Second RBI in the season for Pacheco.
Yeah, Charlie Culberson. Corey Dickerson is going to bat for Rex Brothers. One out in the bottom of the 8th inning. The Rockies did not score in the first 3 innings of this game. They were behind 4-0. They scored 3 in the 4th, 2 in the 5th, 1 in the 6th, 1 in the 7th, and 2 more here in the 8th, and they're not done. They've scored in 5 straight innings. And they've now out-hit Arizona 12-6. Yesterday they had 17 hits, 7 of which went for extra bases. Tonight they've hit 3 homers, and they have 3 straight doubles. So 6 more extra base hits tonight.
Will Harris a little upset with what the results have been so far. Just made 3 of the finest pitches he may have made all year, and he did it to Culberson. Hook, fastball on the knees wide. Corey Dickerson will come on to pinch hit. Barnes with a single, but he pinch hit earlier in the ball game. I'd like to see Corey come up with a base hit here.
(9-4) Rockies. Heater inside, ball 1. Around baseball tonight, Ron Gardenhire, who used to manage Michael Kadire and Justin Morneau, picked off his 1,000th career managerial win tonight as the Twins beat the Indians in Cleveland 7-3.
Since 1986 in July, the Twins have only had 2 managers, Tom Kelly, Ron Gardenhire. That's a long time, Doug.
Quite, but pretty close to what the Dodgers did with Walter Alston and then Tommy.
Tommy who? Masada?
In the inning, the Rockies put together a couple more runs on 3 consecutive doubles by Morneau, Arenado, and Pacheco. Bears online only at southwest.com and by AT&T. Rethink possible. Rockies at 1 point trailed 4-0. They have obliterated that. They're now up 9-4, looking for 3 more outs from LaTroy Hawkins. To center field we go. Jenny, Huey, Spilly.
I like it. The Y crew, or end in a Y. Coming up on
have you got on?
Toyota post-game show. Nolan Arenado jersey giveaway here at Coors Field, and it couldn't have been a more perfect night for that. How about a multi-home run game?
And that's why I'm covering up the 8 for the 2 home
like
runs by Nolan right here.
I like it, but again, a team effort. So who else do you give credit to?
I give it to DJ LeMahieu coming through, and obviously the bullpen. The bullpen's picked up Jorge today, and it's good team effort so far.
Clearly plenty to talk about. And guys, the Cuddy Badger lives. That's right. Cuddy Badger's back.
28.
2-run home run. 6-game hit streak. Lots to talk about.
Player of the game. Player of the game, 28.
You know what? You guys look like a law firm I wouldn't hire.
You're wise, Drew.
We'll see you guys in a little bit. Jenny, Huey, and Spill.
The 3 Ys.
All right, here in the 9th inning, LaTroy Hawkins ready to go. Nolan Arenado's getting the glove ready. Gerardo Parra's going to lead it off. He hits 8. And then we'll see Tony Campana. Or, no, Cliff Pennington, who's come out now in the on-deck circle. LaTroy 1 for 1 in save opportunities. This was going to be a save opportunity. It is no longer.
But you need to work. Worked in a ball game the other day, 38 pitch save. I'd like to clean this one up with about 15, 16 pitches. He is appearing in his 945th ball game. That breaks the tie with Raleigh Fingers for 19th all time.
Ground ball to third. Good little pickup there by Nolan Arenado. 1 out. Ball poured over the outside corner at 92. Pennington in his career has not done much against the Rockies, just 5 for 32. 1-1. Left field. Cargo without number 2. That'll bring up A.J. Pollock. Again tomorrow, the Rockies to get secure 1 more out. Will be looking for the sweep. Brett Anderson will have the baseball. Wade Miley for the Snakes. 9-4 Colorado, 2 outs, nobody on in the 9th. First pitch to Pollock. In there for a strike.
Because of his delivery and repeating his arm action every time, he just pounds the strike zone. You don't ever see him deviate. He's there's a lot of rhythm to the delivery.
Troy, a native of Gary, Indiana, makes his off-season home in the Dallas area. Hawk is a voracious reader, and he's dabbled in writing. In fact, may have read his piece in the back of Sports Illustrated's baseball preview issue. And a weak ground ball left side. Arenado's got it on the move. Low throw. Pollock safe at first base. That'll be an error on Arenado.
First of the year on Nolan, and again, you're going to see him make this play 99 out of 100 times or even more. Got his feet in a great position there, but on a run throw, just let it get sideways. You just hope Troy make another pitch, get out of this. I know Nolan liked to have the ball hit right to him. Make the play and end it, go home.
Aaron Hill. That's foul.
The other thing you got to take into account here is you're not going to have any short outs, meaning you're not going to be able to go second because you're not holding the runner on, so he's going to take off. When he takes off, you're going to have to make the long throw across the infield. It'll be an accurate throw.
Pollock moves up. Left field, Cargo is there, and that's the ball game. The Rockies trailed it 4-0, and they end up winning going away. 9-4 final. Nolan Arenado says, my bad, but he had a lot of good tonight. A couple of home runs and an RBI double. Michael Kadire is hitting all 6 games this year. He had a 2-run home run. The Rockies have leveled their record on the season at 3-3. And they've handed Arizona their 4th straight loss. The Diamondbacks are now 1-7. And congratulations to Tommy Kahnle. In his 2nd big league game, he earns the victory. The Colorado native Brandon McCarthy took the loss. Tommy Kahnle becomes the 181st pitcher in Rockies history to win a ball game. Let's get it to center field again. The Purple Crow, they took it off.